What it do, fam? It's your boy, Mr. Director LLC, LaPaula Lee Crawford. And today, I'm really vibing off of what I got to talk about today. Today, I am talking about sinners. I know. Seems like that's on everybody's mind these days, the sinners. You know why? Because it's just that dope. Get over it. Deal with it. Sinners just a good movie. Now, to celebrate that, it's now available to watch at the crib. However you get it, I say get it. Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely would advise you to go check it out in theaters. It's just not the same. But it's still a good watch, an enjoyable movie. Trust me, it's worth the watch. And before you do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment. Oh, and if you feel so inclined, share. Definitely tell your peoples. It'll be worth it. Now, what I want to talk about today with Sinners is I want to talk about the characters. The characters is so layered, so nuanced. Ryan Coogler was definitely in his bag when he was creating these characters. And the actors did their thing. The actors did something that made me fall in love with film as a young kid. When you can see somebody creating a character or embodying a character, that's the better word, embodying a character that you can relate to that character as well as almost forget that that person is who they are. They put in the work. And boy, I am telling you, look, if don't nobody else tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. Every character in this movie did what they were supposed to do. They understood the assignment and they showed up and showed out. So, I'm going to start off talking about the heart of this movie. Now, I want to be honest. To me, there's two hearts to this movie. Yeah, I said it, two hearts. The first one is Annie. I loved Annie. Annie is Smoke's girl, his woman, the love of his life, the mother of his child. Annie was played by Wunmi Mosaku. You've seen her in shows like Loki. Yeah, she's in the Marvel universe. Check her out. But this woman is a powerhouse. She has proven herself time and time again that she definitely deserves to be at the table. Now, Annie is one of those characters to where there's a hint of mystery about her, but you love it. You know she has power. She has a depth to her that any man would be drawn to. And as hardcore as Smoke was, Annie was his heart, his moral compass, his guardian angel, so to speak. Without Annie, the night would have taken a worse turn than what it did. And that's saying a lot because of what happened. If you haven't seen it, sorry, spoilers, should have watched it. Annie is just one of those characters to where if you, as a man, ever wondered what you should do, had a question about the decision you should make, Annie is that woman that's going to give you the facts, keep it real, and she going to call you out when you're wrong. That's what she did for Smoke. She held him down. She was voice of reason. But she also peeped game before anybody else. She was already putting two and two together what was going on. Hey, Smoke. Hey, we gotta get your brother outside before he wake up. Nah, cornbread. Go ahead and admit it. Admit what? You dead. Wasn't nobody peeping that. But the dynamic of it that's so beautiful, and why I say she was the heart, is that in most movies, you got the hardcore, the OG, the protector, like Smoke, who normally don't really listen to the words of wisdom. But oh, he took heed to everything that Annie said. Even to the point to where he looked at Cornbread, was like, you be coming in and out of here all day. Nah, something ain't adding up. Hey, all I'm gonna say is heart. Annie was my favorite character. Broke my heart to see her die, but warmed my heart to see her and her baby waiting for smoke. Moving on, I want to talk about the second heart. Now, this second heart is a little bit more on the innocent side. And I'm talking about Sammy. As Remick would say. Talking about Sammy. Old preacher boy. Played by Miles Catton. Now, Miles, this is a young cat that came off of singing background for her. His first film. And for this to be your first film and to deliver the way that you did, Miles, if you're watching this, Miles, get at your boy. We need to talk. I need to pick your brain on your career and where you headed. Because as of right now, you doing your thing. Sammy is the heart because of his innocence. The purity in his voice when he sings. The innocence of the way he asks the questions that he asks. You know, he asked Delta Slim, like, hey, you know them? He's like, I knew all of them. But it's the innocence in what he say. Till he met Pearline. Then he was like, I ain't so innocent. Pearline was throwing that thing at him and he was catching it, if you know what I'm saying. But Sammy, his voice brought something out of everybody. You saw it first when Stack was in the car. And he started playing, he started singing, traveling. All Smoke was like, woo, we about to make some money. It was geeked. He was geeked. He was hyped up because his little cousin had skills. He had them pipes. But on the flip side, there's Remick, who heard the voice. Now, in the beginning of the movie, it tells you, you know, there are people who can sing with the music that they create that can transcend reality. It can reach to your ancestors and reach to your future. It can talk to your present. But it all can draw something evil. And that's the beauty and the curse of having talent. You can do such amazing good things, but also you can draw negativity to you as well. Your job is to figure out how you want to live, how you want to present it. Sammy loved his cousins. And they loved him. They protected him. They looked out for their little cousin. But also Sammy, being a preacher kid, he had a great grounding. But he also wanted to do more. He wanted to be more than just picking cotton. And this was a night to remember. The way he felt, the way he made others feel with his music. Now, speaking as somebody that loves music as much as I do, I related to that. Music is such a wonderful feeling. A certain chord, a certain note, either played or sang or both. It touches you. Next, I also want to talk about Pearline, played by Jamie Lawson. She came up, she had Sammy hooked out the gate. When they was at the train station and Sammy was checking her out, oh, you that one that sing? She's like, yeah. He's like, oh. So you know I'm married. Are you happily married? Gee, that's game. They was running game on each other. Then she knew what she was doing when she walked away. She had that little shimmy when she was walking away. Had Sammy looking like, yes, sir. I gotta get that. Then You get to the club, to the juke joint. You show up looking all scrumptious, looking kind of tasty. Sammy couldn't even help himself. She even tried to stop him, like, wait a minute, let me freshen up a bit. He's like, come on now. You beautiful. He's trying to taste you. Had his cousin Stack like, oh, that boy found that button, didn't he? But Pearline represented a fresh take on infatuation, on lust. Because like she said, she was married, so she should have been loyal to her husband. We don't know the dynamics. We just know that she was out here. Sammy was looking good to her. She was looking good to Sammy. So they made it do what it do. So yeah. Pearline, she was bad. And she was skilled too. When she put that show on, that performance was one of my favorite performances in this film. She did her thing. When everybody starts stomping, and the contrast between the fight that was going on in the back, Stack and Mary off in the cut, and what was going on with them, and just the energy that was in the room while things were so slowly unraveling. Yeah. Jamie Lawson, you did your thing. Next, I want to talk about Mary. Mary. Played by Haley Steinfeld. Now, she did her thing. Oh, and she was a firecracker. I'm with the twins. Boy, if you don't get out my face. Oh, she had attitude for days. She had them one-liners. You can't steal this from one night. But she was truly in love with Stack. And he loved her too. But we gonna get to Stack and Smoke in a little bit. But he loved her too. But she represented, so to speak, lust. But all she wanted was Stack. She wanted to be with him. And she didn't care what reason he had for not being there and pushing her away. She didn't care about none of that. All she wanted to be with her man. She held him down, and so to speak, although kind of came back and bit them in the ass. Literally. You have a woman who just wants to be accepted in the community that she grew up in. Loved unconditionally by the man she loves. But because of the times they grew up in, it wasn't in the cards. It wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't safe. She didn't care about none of that. Now, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, keep telling y'all, what are y'all waiting on? Go check it out. So that way you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this next character is played by one of my favorite actors. I'm talking about Delroy Lindo playing Delta Slim. Delta Slim represented he was that uncle that sits off in the cut, sipping on his drink. And when you get him talking, he gonna speak some wisdom. He gonna be hilarious. He gonna be funny. He gonna have you rolling, but it's gonna be some wisdom in his words. You can see the pain and the hurt and the years of everything that he's been through in his eyes. By the time it came down and everything was going to hell and they fighting for their life, Delta Slim stayed true to his word. Hey, the devil come knocking. You have to come see his old buddy Delta Slim before he get to you. Now, if that don't say loyalty, if that don't speak to the patriarch of a family, because let's be real, this was a family with a lot of moving parts. This was definitely a family that they was down for each other and got thrown into a almost impossible situation, but because of who they were and how they were written. Ryan Coogler, I told you before, he was cooking on this. I'm gonna talk about my most disliked character in this movie. See, I got the mean face. I got a mean mug. I'm talking about Grace, played by the beautiful Lee June Lee. Now, For you to play a character that's loved and disliked equally, I mean, you did your job. You understood the assignment and you delivered. Lee Jung Lee playing Grace, you understood where she came from. She wanted to protect her daughter. She wanted to be there to make sure her daughter survives. She already lost her husband. Now, a layer to that is that she already felt the guilt because it was because of her that Bo was sent out and eventually got turned. You can see it in her eyes when she recognizes that Bo was turned. When your boy Cornbread tackled dude and Grace was looking and Bo walked up, "Hey baby, I got the car. Come on out here. Let's go." She looked like he killing him. It's like, oh, that's Cornbread. He's just a little hungry. Yeah, it was, you saw it in her face. Her world crumbled. And then you get to when she snapped. Oh, we gotta let them in. We gotta take them out now. Come on in, you mother. Oh, I wanted to slap her. Oh, that hurt my feelings. Because like, man, all y'all had to do was stay y'all butts inside and they was outside. They wasn't getting in. But I had to think about it like this. If it wasn't her, it might have been somebody else that got convinced, tricked, manipulated into letting everybody in. So, Grace, still don't like your punk ass. Next, I'm going to talk about the villain, Remick. Remick was a lost soul. You heard it when we was talking about like, hey, I'm trapped here, but you, Sammy, you can bring my family back. You can connect to them. I'm just trying to get back with my family, trying to build a whole new community. I want you to be a part of that. I want your stories. I want your music. There's so many layers to Remick to where if you apply it to the day, there's always going to be somebody who sees your talent and feel that they are entitled to your talent, to reap the benefits of your talent. And they'll go through any means necessary to get it. They'll try to trick you out of it. They'll try to force you out of it. But if you ain't got the right people in your corner, people that got your back, they just might get you. But Remick, the way he was portrayed by Jack O'Connell, Jack, thank you. I don't know what it's been with these villains lately in these movies, but when you have a villain that you can relate to, that's deep. I ain't talking about a villain that just scares you, that's just here for the fight, but a villain who makes you think like, is he wrong? All he wanted was a community. Is he really that bad? Yeah, that's a side effect of what he does, but is what he offering really that bad? So when you can pull off being a villain that's relatable, you're doing your job. Now, that brings me to the star, Michael B. Jordan. Double roles, playing the Smokestack twins. You have one twins that's little spoken. That's Smoke. Smoke is a beast. He don't play no games. Pow! Oh, why you shoot me in the ass? Pow! Why you shoot me in the leg? Can't nobody talking about how they almost stole from the Smokestack twins. But his soft spot, his heart, Annie, she could calm the beast. The Smoke wasn't no dummy. He was quick on those numbers, like, hey man, we about to run out of money fast if we don't start charging people accordingly. He was quick on the draw. The moment he saw Mary stand up and saw his brother laying there bleeding, oh, he was on. He ain't hesitate. He ain't ask no questions. He lit her up. When Cornbread tried to get him, popped him in the mouth. Don't play with me, Cornbread. Smoke was a beast, but he was the protector. That's what he does. If I gotta hurt you to protect you, I'm gonna hurt you to protect you. When he popped Sammy in the mouth, like, shut up, boy, I'm trying to save your life. I can relate to Smoke. When you're a quiet type person, those are people you gotta watch out for. Those are people who are the most dangerous because they're always thinking. There's always a storm internally, and they work hard at not letting that storm out. But when it gets out, oh, it's a category 5. Then you have Stack. Stack is the mouthpiece. He's the hustler. He can talk a well out of water. Stack also loved his brother. There was a good balance. He looked out for Smoke just as much as Smoke looked out for him. I related to that too. Being a younger brother, you can see your older brother as a protector. You can see your older brother as strong, and you can see him as being the go-to. But sometimes you got to be that voice to help protect your older brother. And even though Stack was driven a little differently, all he ever wanted to do was protect his brother. He wanted to protect Smoke. He didn't want to be a vampire without him. So that let you know, even when he was turned, it was something still in him that kept him grounded to where it's like, hey, I ain't doing this without you. Sinners was one of those movies to where each time you watch it, you're going to find something different that you're going to love about it. You're going to see a little bit more nuances. You're going to see a little bit more of the history. You're going to see a little bit more of the story being revealed. And now that it's released digitally, you can watch it at home. There's some great hidden scenes that wasn't released in the theater that you can go and check out, and that adds to the lore of this movie. Ryan Coogler, once again, you did your thing with the way you created this story. This is one of those movies to where it's instantly a cult classic, and it's going to be something that people are going to be talking about for months, years, maybe even decades. It's going to be a masterclass. Future filmmakers, take your time and go and check out Sinners for multiple reasons. One, as a filmmaker, to watch the craft being done so beautifully, but also just for the entertainment factor. Sinners is definitely worth seeing, and I appreciate y'all for taking your time out to let me ramble on about one of my favorite movies. Now, once again, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you thought about Sinners. Let's chop it up. And if you feel so inclined, please share. This is your boy, Mr. Director LLC, LaPaula Lee Crawford, and I'll holler at you later. Love you like a play cousin.